Today we have auditory screening for infants. I don't know exactly what that entails. It's made by the Junior High School Council from 1961. It's supposed to be an educational film. Auditory Screening for Infants, a joint production of the Child Growth and Development Study, the Johns Hopkins University, and Division of Maternal and Child Health, Maryland State Department of Health. Some pretty legit names behind this. I really like the cheery music though. This is like perfect.
The normal child enjoys the world of sound every waking hour. He responds to sound from the time...
Hang on, I gotta go back. You know, ironically, a video about auditory screening for children has some pretty bad audio itself.
The normal child enjoys the world...
Oh, so there was a hidden cut there. It said it was supposed to be the normal child, but it just went the normal ild. No wonder I couldn't hear that. The first second of this, and there's already like an auditory curveball thrown at you.
Sound every waking hour. He responds to sound from the time of birth.
Is that true? Do babies? I thought babies didn't respond to sound immediately. Or maybe they can't see. I don't know.
Early in infancy, he begins to babble, then he learns to listen and to imitate some of the speech sounds he hears. A little later, he begins to learn what sounds mean.
There was another just audio clip, or whatever that is, an audio issue. Ironic.
And to differentiate among them. Soon he learns to talk.
So all these people, how old are these people? These kids, that's what I want to know. These kids are how old right now? Probably 8? I don't know, 8 or 9? In 1961, so they are probably 60, 70 something, 72, 73, something like that.
He talks because he hears and as he hears. Audition, as in the newborn, is largely reflexive. Hearing, on the other hand, is learned.
It's wild to see the playground from like back in the day, because this is definitely not the sort of playground scene that existed when I went to school, you know, like this, what is this, the seesaw, there's a bicycle. Is this like a normal school back in the day? Like, did kids just have bikes on the playground with them? I feel like that's
Behavior.
Never allowed now.
It involves sensitivity, discrimination, recognition, understanding, interpretation, memory, recall, and usually an appropriate motor response.
I will say, a surprisingly diverse little classroom of kids. I don't know if that's like on purpose either, or if this is just like an average American auditory screening for infants. It's just interesting that even back then, I don't know, you have this very diverse cast of kids.
Response, a turning of the head toward the source of interesting sound. This involves general motor development and organization. At a few hours of age, the newborn will respond typically to certain kinds of short, sharp, fairly loud sounds with a startle reflex, which may be a moral reflex, a blink, or other eye and body movement. When sound is the stimulus, it's called an auditory reflex, fleeting and variable. Because
yeah, the audio keeps cutting in and out again. It's not the worst, but it definitely is not helping, I don't know, the case for this program.
motor system is not yet far developed.
It's weird because the narrator just said that like these babies have responses to sounds like, you know, almost immediately after they're born, but I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't show like examples of that. I know that is like kind of cruel to just like be like, here's a newborn and like clap next to it, but like, if you're gonna say it, you might as well like show it. I don't know. For a second, I thought that's what I was about to watch, and I was like, I don't know, I was anticipating it. It feels wrong to say it and not show it, I guess. But I get why they didn't. I'm just saying.
The responses you will observe in a few moments are of this nature: moral reflex, a widening of the eyes, change of expression, a jerk of the head toward the sound, and searching eye movements.
Oh, so is this just what every baby is tested for, like when they're born? Is just their response to sound? I guess they said like right when they're born. So is this done like in the hospital when they take babies away from mothers and put them in the rooms or whatever? Is this one of the things that they do? a lot of silence. I was just receiving very little auditory stimulation from that. See, it's funny because they're talking about auditory screening, and I can hear nothing happening, like there's audio, but it's just like the empty static audio. And I wonder if, like, is that what these babies are hearing? Like they're just in silent rooms? Because obviously, like, I feel like they're supposed to be hearing something, but we're literally hearing just like the empty space. Like, listen to that.
Baba, hello, Baba. Baba, hello, baby. Oh.
I just feel like that a lot could be said about this outfit. I don't know. I'm not the one to be saying it, but there's a lot to unpack with this kid being forced to wear this sort of outfit.
By the age of 8 months, there is a sharp developmental contrast. The baby has now learned to listen and hear.
Listen and hear. I like how they listed those differently. The baby has now learned to listen and hear. I feel like hearing comes first. Like you hear something and then you listen to it. You don't listen and then you hear it.
His motor development has progressed, and he relates spatially to many sounds in his environment. He should respond sharply and alertly by turning his head toward the...
Again, like they couldn't have put the rattle sound effect at least in here. Like we're supposed to be learning about babies hearing sounds, and we can't even hear the sounds that the babies are hearing, Or maybe I haven't been auditorily screened.
The source when he hears a quiet, interesting sound. If he consistently fails to locate the source of sound by turning his head, his responses are not normal.
His responses are not normal. That's funny.
He may not hear well. He may be retarded in either motor...
Oh man, they said it. I wasn't even expecting them. Wow.
...or intellectual development. In the auditory screening tests you're about to see, 2 babies will respond normally and 2 will fail to react appropriately for their ages.
Therefore, it's very important to give her regular meals now and a good balanced diet.
I love that tail end of the conversation. Therefore, it's important to give her a regular diet.
This will lay the groundwork for future good eating habits. By the looks of your little gal, you're doing a fine job. Just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Now we're going to make some quiet sounds and see what Anne does.
Dang, her catch, did you see that? Like, she didn't even break eye contact with this woman. And that was totally not, like, planned or rehearsed. That was improvised catched right there. Wow. This woman's on top of it.
Before we begin, could you tell me something about her response to sound at home?
And she is unfazed. Wow, good for this woman. Holy moly.
She's very alert to sound.
You feel that she hears them?
Definitely, yes.
Is she doing any babbling?
Did they really do that? Did they really interview you after you had had a kid for a while and say, like, are they hearing stuff? Like, I feel like you would know if they weren't.
Oh, yes.
Are you able to recognize any of the sounds?
Well, Dada, Baba.
Oh, good.
These
Fine.
are ones.
Is there any hearing loss or hard of hearing in your family or in her daddy's family?
No, none at all.
Good.
What's the movie test where if it has 2 women talking to each other about something other than a man, it passes? Because I think I don't know about this baby if this counts or not, but I think that's funny.
Good. I believe Brother Bobby is now 3, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, it is Bobby. Oof, never mind, it doesn't pass.
Is he talking?
Wow, I can't believe I just called that and then it got disproven like that.
Oh, yes.
Do you or your friends understand what he says?
Yes, we do.
Fine. Is Anne sitting by herself now? I believe she is.
Yes, she is, since she was 6 months old.
Good. Has she been able to pull herself now to a standing
You
position?
know, I like how we're just watching this full conversation unfold. I feel like very rarely nowadays do you just get to watch them locked camera, no change. And that's what's amazing. There's no cuts either. Like this is they might have like cards off to the side, but it almost doesn't even feel like it. Is this rehearsed or not? Like is the mother an actress? Is this all real? I don't know. It's because it's impressive if they're all actors in this. I guess it's less impressive if none of them are actors. I guess this lady who caught the baby is probably an actress, and this might be a real mother. So that's why she can respond. No, but she's probably just like a normal nurse. The baby's definitely a baby still. I know that much.
Position?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's just impressive. If they are actors and they've been going and having this conversation for this long, it's impressive. I don't know. It's a wonder.
And is she trying to creep?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh. Now, since the last time we saw her, has she had any illnesses? What I mean is illnesses such as colds, ear infections, perhaps any of the childhood diseases?
Yes. 2 weeks ago, she did have a serious cold, but now she seems to be all right.
Oh, that's good. At least she's well.
That's totally something a mom would say and not an actress. Or like no one would write that. I feel like if these were actors, these would have been written by men and it would have sounded completely different. I don't know. I feel like these must be like just too normal. Like this must be a nurse actually interviewing a mom.
Well for today's
Yes.
little test.
Uh-huh.
Now I think we can get started, okay?
Fine.
Hi, honey. Hello there. How do? How are you?
Okay, so now they are giving us the auditory screening as well. I like that. This baby definitely heard that. Do they still do this? I don't know enough about having kids to know if you just have to go into a hospital to have your kids auditorily screened anymore. This seems like a lot of work to prove a pretty obvious point, if you ask me. Like, to me, that tells you all you need to know. Like, test is done right there. But I guess we need to do more than that.
There it is.
That is so funny, though, that, like, even a baby will, like, hear something and look immediately. Like, that is just a reflex. It's just like, whoa.
Boo.
This woman getting the baby's attention the same way I get a cat's attention. That's so funny.
What an expression.
I feel like the test is over. Like, the baby has passed every single one of these. Like, why do they even need to keep going? Am I wrong? Like, is there anything else that each of these is testing specifically? Like, was that a high pitched versus like a I don't even know. These all feel like the same test to me.
Hi. Hi.
Plus, it's like really awkward. I don't know. I wonder if this is like this woman's like professional task. Or is she just like a nurse and performs like all the other sort of hospital tasks that go on, and this is just like her easy, fun task? Like, is she the auditory screening like doctor in this hospital? The attending. Dude, the baby's so good it looked before she even shook it, all right? The baby's got sound and like peripheral vision. I think she just messed up though. I think if we're gonna criticize or critique, she put it within view of that baby and she shouldn't have. That wasn't a good test. She failed that test. Now she's getting freaked out, right? Like, this baby knows that there's something up with this woman, right? Like, this is actually stressing out this baby a little. Like, she can tell that something weird's gonna happen over here now. She's already looking. Like, again, is this necessary at all? I guess it's not harmful. It's just, it feels a little silly, to be honest.
You found it.
Yeah, the baby was like, I knew that was gonna happen.
Bye-bye to you. Hello, Baba. Hello there, Baba. Baba.
Dang, alright, so this is a kid that does not
Hello,
respond
Vanessa.
to sound. This would be like terrifying as a parent though, if your kid like just doesn't hear things. Are they testing for deafness, or is this just like, I don't know what the implications of this are, I guess. Like, can this kid go on to obtain or attain hearing, or are they like deaf for their whole lives now? I don't know.
Peekaboo. Hello, little friend. Hello there, baby. Aren't you a lovely little girl?
Yeah, I would be stressed if I was a parent and this, like, my child didn't turn. I don't, that's a fear I guess I didn't even know I had about parenthood.
Oh, you saw me. You saw me. Yes, you did.
Oh, well, the other baby saw her and she didn't say that. But to be fair, I don't know. Yeah, this baby definitely did not hear her. Or maybe they did, and maybe, cats are like that. Cats will hear you, but they won't turn immediately. You have to like earn their attention. I don't know. Again, I only bring up cats because she is like literally trying to get this kid's attention as if they're a cat. I don't know. It looked like they heard, but they just didn't like care to turn. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they just saw something. I hope you are enjoying the ASMR part of this video of her just like lightly whistling into the back of your ear. Like we've been hearing this now for like at least like 15 minutes, 15 seconds. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like after watching this, I personally am capable of giving an auditory screening to an infant. Like if this was made by like Johns Hopkins University, like maybe this was shown in like college classrooms of just being like, yeah, like instead of like even showing you in person what you need to do, like you can literally just watch this video and know 100% everything there is to know about auditory screening for infants. Like I could administer this test myself now, having watched this. Like it seems pretty cut and dry. If this was made for that purpose, I guess it's very effective at its job of, educating and showing you how to conduct this test. Do you think that would be like the next step? Like you watch this in like a class and then you have to administer one of these? I feel like that that is a funny thing to think about. Like maybe the people who had to watch this were also the people who had to eventually give these themselves. Probably, right? Like that, it only makes sense. Like I don't think anyone not becoming a doctor would have to watch this. Again, I don't really know the context. I guess the junior high school council.
Hello, Baba. Whew, you're quick.
The face she made before fully deciding to turn and look, like if she was deciding whether or not there was a sound to be heard. That was great.
There it is. Hi there, Lisa. How do?
How do? I like how she said that. How do?
Hello, Baba. Boo. Peekaboo. Nice rattle.
If you heard that, that was a little audio beep. And then what that means is that they're actually playing a rattle sound effect for this. This is not the native audio of the film. Because, obviously they didn't have cameras that also took audio at this point. Or maybe they did, but this is not, that was a sound effect. And I said that earlier, didn't I? Like, why didn't they even put a sound effect in? But I guess they are now. Again, I feel like I'm partially qualified to dissect these because of what I do. Like, at least I can pick up on stuff like that.
Here I am. That was fine. Fine.
Yeah, this woman gives me the creeps.
Hello, Baba. Baba, 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 Baba. Hello there. Hello there, little friend. Hello. Baba, 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 Baba.
I've been paying attention to the woman giving all the sounds, but I haven't even paid attention to the woman whose job it is to just play with dolls in front of the baby. Again, is this her like full-time position, or is this just like one of her many tasks here at the hospital? Like, is she a full-time doll player? Somebody who has presumably been very highly educated still has to do. Like, you spend all this money and all this time getting this important, nursing degree, and you still have to just play with dolls in front of a baby.
Found it. Ah, there it is. Hi.
This baby, I don't want to say, but this baby is dressed the same way old people are dressed now. Like, this guy has been wearing the same, like, down to the shoes and the socks and the shorts and everything. He has not changed. People, how old did I say he probably was? He's probably like 60 or 70 at this point. He probably looks exactly the same.
Oh, I do.
All right, yeah, you already did the rattle. We already know you can hear the rattle. Again, this feels a bit redundant.
Hello, Bubba. Hello. Well, greetings. Greetings, friend.
Yeah, so what was that? Did he hear her? Because it didn't really seem like he saw her. Now I'm analyzing whether or not this baby from 60 years ago heard this woman or not. All right, it looked like he heard something because he looked back where she was before. I don't know. He might be like deaf in one ear or something. What if that's the case? Like, he's deaf in that ear, but he's hearing in the other one. That's why he's turning that way. I don't know. He's clearly hearing something. I wonder what his diagnosis is. Do we get to hear that? I don't think so. We have 2 minutes left of this. It sounded pretty decided that he just couldn't hear anything when it first introduced him. So I don't know.
This auditory screening test can and should be given as part of every examination of an infant by the time he is 8 or 9 months old.
By the time he's 8 or 9 months, I feel like I would know by that point if my kid could hear or not.
This is not
8 or 9 months.
This is not a measurement of hearing, even though the test sounds are carefully calibrated for frequency and intensity.
The test sounds are carefully calibrated. She's literally her with her mouth, like carefully calibrated. Those are some carefully calibrated
The screening test serves only as an index. It selects the babies whose lack of normal response to sound suggests the importance of careful, detailed clinical tests and measurements.
I guess it could be a wide spectrum of things, right? Like, I guess they said at the beginning, like, it could be all sorts of different different diagnoses. I guess it's just the first symptom of a lot of different, I guess, mental issues or brain issues or something. I don't know. That's what they haven't described, is why it's so important. Maybe they did the very beginning and I wasn't paying attention.
Those who fail the screening test once are tested again at a later date. If they fail the second time, then they require careful otologic, audiologic, neurologic, and psychologic examinations in special clinical centers where refined evaluations can be made. The child, the family, and the community are vitally concerned with all aspects of these problems.
Dude, they replayed the catch. Wow. It was so good they had to use that clip again, no?
Whether they involve hearing and speech development, motor coordination, or mental capacity. It seems obvious that if a child with a communication disorder is to be given the best possible opportunity by early recognition and definition of his difficulties, the better will be his chance to learn. This ensures hope for the child and his needs, and the family and their adjustments, so that they may rightfully take their place in the community which sustains them both.
What a nice little way to tie it all into a bow at the end. To just say it benefits everyone from investing in people's health, especially from a very early age. Just, that's nice. It's nice that was kind of the sentiment back then, is that like, oh, it helps everyone, Must have been nice. Let's see. Produced by Ann Doherty, miles per hour, Child Growth and Development Study, Division of Audiology and Speech, School of Hygiene and Public Health. Assisted by Krista M. Brinker. I feel like I am ready. I know I said that earlier, but I feel like I'm totally ready to administer that test myself. I don't know if a fully trained nurse needs to be the one. I guess it's weird to have somebody specifically, dedicated to that purpose, though. I guess it's probably easier to have a nurse do it. I bet every single nurse in the world knows how to do that test. Do people still do this? I have never heard of people doing this. Maybe we still do. I don't have kids, so I don't know. I wonder if I was auditory screened. But I hope you all learned a lot. I hope any of you watching who have kids, I hope at least one of you actually has a kid who should be auditory screened, and you perform this test on them. That's how I want this video to impact the world. At least one of you to please perform this on your own child. Figure out if they need to have assistance or not. Please, let me be the catalyst for auditory screening for your infants. I think that's the best case scenario from this. I think with that, we are going to cut it there, cut to black.